Why did they program you the way that they did? Me, this is fairly new for me and something Ivo hasn't talked much about, so he gets the floor today. Ivo, you are a hybrid, a reptilian/human mix. This is important to remember throughout this video. Until you reach the 5th dimension and become a crystalline human, you will transition your DNA. Humans are not a warring species, but reptilians are. Your reptilian DNA responds to this. Your human DNA responds to the messages they send out to you to be a humanitarian and to help others in your country and abroad. A human would respond to the humanitarian message but would respond in another fashion rather than indulging in war. Humans are not violent, but reptilians are. The large amount of violence and perpetration of violent acts carried out upon Earth are caused by your reptilian egos, which respond to mind control programming. During your wars, there were unnecessarily violent acts perpetrated upon prisoners of war and so forth, which were not necessary in striving to win the war. But they were carried out anyway, out of the sheer sadistic pleasure of exacting revenge or in feeling dominant or to reduce morale. You must understand that DNA responds to your thoughts and feelings. Your DNA is molded by your behavior, in essence. When you are violent, you change your DNA. You activate more of your reptilian DNA. When you are peaceful, you activate more of your human DNA. You are constantly being made to go to war, to live in fear, and to feel insecure, as now even your basic amenities are threatened, so more of your reptilian DNA is being activated and less of your human DNA is operational. You must also understand that they know this and encourage only the most minimal functionality of your human DNA. Humans are creators, they manifest, they create, they make things. So your controllers have put this to good use, for themselves. They have created companies and corporations and put you to work creating for them. They pay you minimal profit for what you are creating, and take the money for themselves. This is why so many of you look for yourselves in your job. You say, I am an engineer, or, I am a nurse. This is the wrong use of your I am. You are put into jobs where you create or where you are of service, then you are paid for doing this work. This is a very stepped-down version of who you really are, and the Dark Ones know this. They have kept the message of who you are from you while creating a monetary system and then putting you to work in filling the positions. The fact that you are doing service and using your minds to create keeps you feeling that perhaps this is how you realize your true self, but it is a trick. Your employment seldom ever leads to a realization of who you truly are because you are a magnificent being of godliness. A job would hardly be able to show you even a fraction of your true reality. They have kept you from knowing yourselves, truly. In the true sense of self-realization. Humans are not greedy, but draconians are. So they created a financial system, piped in EMF frequencies to keep your chakras out of balance and your minds focused on acquisition of wealth, and you became as greedy as the ones who are in control of your planet. That, of course, is so they can disguise themselves among you. If you on Earth exhibited true human values, those reptiles who are controlling your planet now would be very obvious to pick out. You would not need psychic vision to be able to see a shapeshifter, you would be able to understand who they were by the values they exhibited. But they have cunningly created a means for you to emulate their behavior, so that they can hide themselves among you. Humans are beings of nature. Draconians are beings of systems. They create systems in order to pull rank and create caste between each other. The people of Earth have been pulled away from nature in order for the Draconians to pull rank upon you. It is their egotistical need for superiority that your system is based upon, nothing else. Had they not had the urge to conquer other races, you would not be in the predicament you are in now. Many of you believe your system meets your needs. It does not. In fact, it meets the Draconian needs very nicely. Humans are honest and gracious, Draconians are thieves. So they tricked you into giving the Earth to them. They stole your home from you, and now plan to insinuate themselves even further, had it not been for intervention. God gave you everything you needed here to live an abundant life, along with your creative abilities, but the Draconians hijacked your world and your lives in order to exploit you for themselves. Humans are spiritualists, Draconians are materialists. They have tricked you into believing you are like them, and now you want to acquire many things. They have you believing you cannot create these things for yourselves, you can only create if you are paid for it. Many of you have hobbies, and this is where your intuition often shows itself. As you paint, for example, your mind becomes wordless and you connect more deeply to your soul. The only way to convince a human that they are a materialist is to take away their higher dimensional capabilities, and this was done when the Anunnaki came to Earth. Humans can teleport, Draconians have tricked you into believing you need to ride camels, horses, or drive cars. Now the beasts that you so loved in antiquity, who were your brethren upon earth, you have relegated to working for you in the same way. You, the lords of the planet, are put to task, working for your overlords. The system has infiltrated down to many levels. And I will not speak of the way you eat flesh, because you must realize that your flesh is also tasty and nutritious to other species. The pyramid or the double pyramid, the tetrahedron, is the system of the human. The draconian system is a step system, so whenever you see caste, class, or rank, you must understand that you are in a draconian system. In your Freemasonry, you have the different levels, each having access to higher levels of secrecy. The Galactic Federation has no such system, as we are all telepathic. Humans were overtaken years ago through incursions of reptilian armies. They were accompanied by spiders, snakes, and other extraterrestrials you know today as the chupacabra and the aggressive Bigfoots and skinwalkers. These beings died out or went underground, and you were left with obscured memories of being eaten or killed by spiders and snakes, or reptilians, and today you still fear these beings as animals and are cautious of them. Children have fears of spiders and other bugs, and it was because of these raids that you still harbor these fears. Many species of the galaxy are represented on Earth in animal form, so many of you have fears of spiders and they do not know why. Sharon has no fear of spiders, that is because she was not on Earth at the time of the initial raids. Me, yes, children are scared of spiders and snakes, but they tend to love praying mantis, that is when you can find one these days. I figure that's why. Because of these old memories. Ivo, your memories have been wiped out and the timelines changed many times over since the initial raids upon Earth. You are told stories of the Anunnaki dumbing down Earthlings to have them dig gold for them. However, you were not told of what happened afterwards. The Anunnaki focused on Africa for their exploits. They could not overtake the entire world at once. Africa was raided and bases were set up for the current Na, and they went underground, allowing the Anunnaki to overtake above ground and to mate with the Earthlings. Then they were overtaken as well by the Na violators. There is much history you do not know. In order for your world to enact draconian values, it was necessary to change your DNA to accept theirs. And because Earthling DNA is so malleable, it was fairly easy to do so. Then the programming began. People began to change. They became more warlike where before they were peaceful. Me, what about the old Lyrans and Vegans and all the fighting in the galaxy? Ivo, we were third dimensionals then. Me, so it's possible for a third dimensional to go to war with each other? Ivo, yes. But not likely even if that third dimensional is entirely human. Me, was our DNA changed? Ivo, in Vega, no. We were capable of negativity in the third dimension. Me, oh, I see. Ivo, never to the extent that we saw in Orion or now on Earth. Humans are of course now more evolved and incapable of warring. We are capable of self-preservation and protection of other species of life in the galaxy. Me, okay, thanks Ivo. Ivo, you are most welcome, my love. Now stop working and take a break. Me, lol.